What's up, everybody? Today, I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown on VeChain. I'm going to go over the underlying business, what it is, what they're doing, what's their vision. I'm going to go over what their token value actually has as for us as coin investors. And then I'm going to kind of briefly go over the charts and on TradingView and give you guys an idea of where I think this could be headed. But I did a video earlier in the week on why I think we all need to be really careful when we're investing in coins, because there's a lot of blockchain companies coming out right now that are creating these blockchain solutions for their specific business. And that's great. That's what blockchain is for. It's supposed to help businesses, right? And help people, individuals. But a lot of these companies are coming out and they're creating these solutions specifically for their business and not keeping in mind the coin holders. And a lot of times that's their purpose all along. That's what they wanted to do. But when there's so much money coming into the cryptocurrency market at this time, a lot of people are just dumping money into certain coins just because they hear a lot about it. And that's purely speculation. What I want to do on this channel is give more in-depth research on why a coin will appreciate in value based on the way they set up their blockchain, based on their company fundamentals. And when you buy a stock, you get voting rights, you get, access to earnings. But when you buy a coin, you don't get any of that. Not necessarily, right? It depends on how they set things up. And a coin doesn't always just appreciate in value forever, and this euphoria will end at some point, and everybody will be forced to look at the underlying fundamentals. So that's what I'm going to do with VeChain, give a brief overview of what I think it is and whatnot. So here we are sitting at $6.82. We'll go to their website. As you can see here, I think those are blueberries, not sure. But what VeChain is it's a supply chain management solution for enterprises. So as you can see here, there's a wine bottle with what looks like a computer part on it, right? So what they're doing is they're creating in-house, they're creating RFID tags with different processors on them that have, temperature sensors. And they're basically trying to connect via the Internet of Things, this supply chain overall for the entire market, right? They're trying to interconnect supply chains so that way businesses can have a better idea of what's actually happening with their product. So I'll give an example. Say you're buying fish and you go to a market and you buy, a piece of salmon. Well, you just assume that salmon was stored at the proper temperature all the way through the supply chain. Now, where they were farming that salmon or when they caught that salmon, it's vital because it's fish. It needs to be at a certain temperature all the way through the supply chain, or else, bacteria can grow and you can get sick and people die or whatever, right? So when say a refrigeration truck that's shipping this fish from the ocean to the market breaks down and then the fish gets warm, the way it is right now, and this is happening, these companies aren't reporting this stuff and they're just still sending it. And maybe in some cases they are, but this is a problem with blockchain solutions. With this RFID tag, they're putting this on all sorts of products, from handbags to wine to freaking sushi to all sorts of stuff, right? And basically they have a mobile application and an enterprise application for these businesses. So that way they can see and ensure that these products that they're getting are not counterfeit, that they're not, messed up. The products aren't, being shipped at 50 degrees versus when they should be shipped at 30 degrees. And all of this stuff is stored on the blockchain. So another big problem is in China, there's a lot of, counterfeit products. So, even from cars to handbags, like you're seeing here, a lot of these things are counterfeit. So what's going to happen is Gucci is going to go out. They're going to, partner with VeChain or whatever. They're going to put these RFID tags on their Gucci handbags, right? These handbags are going to be scanned throughout the entire supply chain, which is going to be shown on the blockchain, and the blockchain will never be able to delete. It's blockchain. It is trustless and it is immutable. So this this technology will show the store owner, okay, I'm actually receiving a legitimate Gucci product because it has the VeChain technology on it. Some people will say, oh, well, what happens if people just, take off the VeChain RFID tag? Well, then that product in the VeChain solution, system will not be considered a legitimate product. So you can't take this bottle of wine and rip it off and sell it, right? Like this, it just won't work like that. So, anyway, I think this is an incredible business. I think this is a really cool idea. Another one that is kind of similar to this is Wabi, but VeChain seems to have the real market share. They're partnering. This is the next thing that I want to go over is they're partnering with some big companies. So they're partnering with PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, which is basically an enterprise auditing company. And what they do is, for example, we'll use Gucci again. They will audit Gucci on all of their products sold, revenues, all this stuff, right? Well, VeChain said, we don't want to go direct to Gucci. We want to go to PwC. They already have all of these companies on their, portfolio, right? PwC is auditing hundreds and hundreds of companies worldwide. And so VeChain went to them and they partnered with PwC and they are trying to implement VeChain from the top level down, right? So what they're trying to do is say, hey, listen, VeChain will help you being auditors. And what you can do as these auditors, you can require all of your companies that you are auditing to use VeChain. And so what that does for VeChain is really, really broadens their horizon on all of their companies because they don't have to go direct to all of these individual companies and say, listen, this is really going to help your supply chain. No. They're going direct to the auditors. Another one they're doing is DNVGL, which is, if you're not familiar with them, they're also a really big auditing company for more or less organic certified foods. So they're going directly to them as well. And that's really, really smart. Another thing I wanted to go over is they have VeChain's national level partnership. So this is really insane. Basically, as one of the most important national level data centers clusters in China, Guiyang, I don't know how to say this, I apologize. New area, this is a city in China, and basically this city is a test zone for utilizing high and innovative technologies to help improve Chinese government administrative management efficiency. So basically, VeChain was selected to be a pilot program for this smart city. Basically, this is going to be like the world's first smart city, and they're just implementing all sorts of different economic platforms in here and testing. So when the technology and implementation process streamlines are well tested, it is expected that this process will be rolled out through the entire region of China. So if VeChain goes nationwide in China, that's going to be insane. So VeChain is doing something right. They have a working product. They have a real team. It is something pretty crazy what they're doing. So the next thing I want to go over is, obviously I agree with what they're doing. I think this provides tremendous use case in the world, and it only helps both parties. It only doesn't help one of the parties if they are cheating the system. So this promotes honesty in the marketplace, and I think that is really important in the future. It will reduce fraud, and it will help the customers ensure that the products they are buying are the products that they want to be buying. So what I'll do is I'm going to go over why I think VeChain is valuable in terms of an investment point of view. So what is a masternode? VeChain, I'm going to go over the VeChain just announced that they're going to be doing masternodes. So simply put, a masternode is a server on a decentralized network. It is utilized to complete unique functions in ways ordinary nodes can't. So basically, a masternode is more or less similar to proof of stake, where you hold a certain amount of coins and they will give you a reward for facilitating more complex transactions. It says, because of their increased capabilities, masternodes typically require a sizable investment in order to run. But this is where incentivization comes into play, as masternode operators are rewarded by earning profits of block rewards in whatever cryptocurrency they're given, or they're facilitating, I'm sorry. So it says here, no masternodes are quite alike each other, and that's just due to their blockchains and how they set it up. But I'll do a little bit of a deeper dive. This is on Reddit. I was just reading this, and it gave a pretty good overview of what VeChain's masternodes are planning to do. So VeChain plans to offer two types of masternodes in the authority and economic masternodes. Authority masternodes are the only nodes that create blocks and ledger records, and as such are the most privileged members of the ecosystem. This privilege comes with a grave deal of responsibility in terms of computational power and commitment. So basically what they're saying is VeChain is going to create two types of masternodes. The authority is going to be more dedicated towards, giant server farms where you're probably going to have it says here, you're going to have 250,000 VET coins, and there's only going to be 101 authority masternodes. And basically these masternodes are literally creating the blocks on the blockchain and the ledger records. And then there's economic masternodes, which are going to offer stability to the ecosystem and act as a distribution of power and privilege within the blockchain's ecosystem. So that's really cool. And that's huge. So we can become economic masternodes, as you can read here. A minimum of 150,000 VET is required to be the highest rewarded economic masternode, and then all the way down, you have to have a minimum of 10,000 VET to have you get the default economic masternode. And basically what a masternode does is it pulls out coins from circulation, and it makes the supply go down. And as the demand goes up, as you can see with China adopting it, with all these other businesses, with PwC using this to implement all of their customers, the demand will surely rise. And as more people become masternodes, the more valuable the coin becomes. And this is really huge that they decided to go with the masternode route. But it is kind of expensive to become a masternode, right? So anyway, I'm going to go over the VeChain chart, and I'm going to make this quick. So we have a nice Elliott wave going up, all the way up to the all-time high at 81,000 Satoshis here. And then we'll drop. We have this nice ABCDE wave all the way down, and we're sitting at a trend line here. Okay, so if you believe that this company is going to have some value in the ecosystem, and you like what they're doing, and you like the masternode idea, and you think that the coin price is going to appreciate, then you're really going to like this chart, because we're seeing a nice correction, and there's a really nice trend line with, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different support touches on this support line, right? And every time it's hit this line, it's bounced back up. It's bounced back up here, came back, tested support, bounced back up, even down here. So what I'm thinking is this coin is going to come down to about 55,000 Satoshis or so. Maybe not. Maybe it will just continue to go on and rise slowly. But I think that if you're going to put some buy orders in, this is a great region to do so. Even at its current price, I think you're sitting at a very undervalued coin, especially with the news that has come out in the past couple months about VeChain. So maybe I'll go into a more in-depth on the chart in another video, but I just wanted to give a brief overview of what VeChain is and why I'm pretty excited about this coin. So with that, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Don't invest in this coin if you don't feel like it. Do whatever you want, but subscribe to the channel. That I'm making mandatory. Subscribe to the channel. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.